Hi everyone, I'm Julia and this is Julia at Home. So we're pregnant, which is really exciting. I'm going to be having my third baby in June of 2019. I have currently a 6-year-old, a newly turned 6-year-old, and a 3.5-year-old. And so this will be edition number 3 in making a family of 5. I just thought I'd pop on here and do a first trimester update for you. I'm actually a little bit past. I'm about 17 weeks right now, and which is in the 4th month. For those of you who have not been pregnant or are currently pregnant, sometimes the weeks you have to kind of think about it. So I'm in my 4th month of pregnancy, and I just wanted to do a kind of a recap of what the first trimester has looked like for me. So obviously we're really excited and grateful for this baby. It's something that I've wanted to grow our family for a little while, so I'm super excited about it. That being said, the first trimester was really rough. I tend to get pretty sick during the first trimesters of my pregnancies. It's happened with both my previous pregnancies, and lots of nausea, some vomiting, all that. All day sickness, not just morning sickness. And this was no exception. In fact, this pregnancy was actually a little bit worse. This may be too much information, so I'm going to warn you now. You can skip ahead a little bit if you want to skip all the symptoms. But there was a lot more actual vomiting this time, having trouble keeping food down. I'm never really able to drink water. It triggers vomiting during my first trimester, which is really hard because I love drinking water. And this time I had a little bit of a harder time finding liquids I could drink. I ended up drinking a lot of orange juice and some milk. That seemed to work for me. I was able to make some almond milk smoothies occasionally. I had to kind of time them correctly towards the middle of the day, which is when I feel my best. Smells were really bad this time. I mean, I've always, when you're pregnant, you have a stronger sense of smell, and especially during the first trimester, I think it's your body's way of warning you, right? That's what all these things are, with the high hormones. And it was just really bad this time. And there were weeks I really couldn't leave the bedroom because the smells coming from the kitchen, just all of them bothered me. I had to eat things that just did not smell at all. I would be yelling at my kids and husband to shut the bedroom door. If they hadn't bathed or showered for one day, they couldn't come hug me because the smell would really turn my stomach. So smells were super bad this time. I think more so than before. Let's see. Sore breasts, which I always kind of welcome because I found out when I had my first baby that I have insufficient glandular tissue, which means I don't have enough of the milk-making tissue to make a full supply of breast milk. And I've since done a lot of research. I can do a separate video on that. I do have blog posts, I think more than one, on that issue that I can link to below. But I kind of always see sore breasts as a good sign because it means my milk-making tissues are growing. I also had some heart palpitations, which I think was due to just the extreme sickness that I had. We did end up going to the hospital for fluids once because I was extremely dehydrated. And I probably could have gone more than once, but I was just dehydrated again 2 days later because I wasn't managing the nausea very well. So more importantly, I started taking some B6 and Unisom, and also eating every 5 minutes, even though I did not want to, a little bit. And those things all helped. I still felt really sick, but it helped me keep things down. Not water, but food. So we didn't go again after that, after I figured out how to manage that. So I started feeling better around 15 weeks. And I was feeling pretty icky from about 5 weeks to 15 weeks. Once I started feeling better, that's kind of when the fatigue hit, where I had, especially the 15th week, I was just so tired all the time. And I'm still pretty tired, but managing it better now. I don't know if maybe before I was just feeling so sick, it kind of hid how tired I was. And then suddenly, when I wasn't as sick, I was like, oh, man, I'm really tired. But yeah, that's when it felt like the fatigue hit. So now I'm feeling better for the most part. I still have occasional nausea in the morning, especially before I eat. And in the evenings, I just start feeling kind of icky in general. So it's best if I get to bed early. I don't always achieve that. But that's where I am now. And I usually need to rest during the day. So I'm trying to incorporate that in our daily rhythm. We're going to see how I do. Sometimes I have a tendency to want to get more done, so I push myself and then I have to rest because I don't feel good. Hopefully I can get past that. So we did have one midwife appointment, and then, well, we chose a midwife because we're in a new state, and we chose a home birth midwife again. We did a hospital midwife birth with my first child, with my daughter, and with my son, we did a home birth. And it was a really great experience for us, so we're going to do that again. Of course, we have contingency plans for when things happen, and I like having a trained midwife that I trust and respect. So I did some research and found one that we like, and we saw her for one appointment so far. We have another one coming up soon, and at that first appointment we were around 12 weeks, and we couldn't find the heartbeat with the Doppler, which is actually really normal for that age. It's nothing for that age, that far along in pregnancy. It's still early to be able to hear the heartbeat in the Doppler. And I tend to have anterior placentas, which means my placenta is in the front, which makes it also a little bit more difficult because you keep hearing my heartbeat instead of the baby's. But so it gave us a kind of an excuse because I kind of wanted an extra ultrasound. Usually, well, with my son, we just did the 20-week ultrasound, which was our plan this time, but I was just feeling like I wanted the 12-week one. So we didn't do the full NT scan, but we just did a regular ultrasound to make sure everything looked good, and it did. It was great. Baby was moving a lot. Which is funny because our current kids move a lot. So I was like, oh, I'll have 3 that are constantly moving. But that was really fun to see. And again, we have another midwife appointment coming up. And then at 20 weeks, so only in a couple weeks now, really, 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be doing our 20-week ultrasound where they'll look more in detail at all the baby's organs and how it's growing and all that, and the amniotic fluid. Make sure everything looks good, and we can also find out the gender, which we will probably do. I am not sure if I'll share it on here or not, so I guess stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. I haven't decided about how and when and if I want to share all of that. So moving forward, my plan is to refocus on my health because, 2018 turned out to be 2017 as well. Turned out to be pretty stressful years. Between 2017 and beginning 2018, there were a bunch of deaths in my family. Nothing, everybody was ready to go that went. It's just hard on the family, when you lose someone, you miss someone. There's grieving that happens. And then 2018, we knew we were planning on doing this big move, so that was really our focus. For that year, and we did it. It looks messier than it feels like it should, but I think that's just life. And so all that being said, I lost focus on my health. And so I've started this pregnancy a little bit heavier than I have with my others. I just really want to refocus, not on like losing weight or not gaining weight, but on eating healthy, incorporating more vegetables, making sure I'm getting plenty of protein, cutting back on sweets. I will be cutting back on dairy a little bit. I didn't try to do that right around Christmas. That just felt like it would be too hard. So waited until after Christmas to cut back on the dairy. I'll have to see where I am on that because with still not feeling 100% cheese and yogurt are things that I can eat, and milk is something I can drink if my stomach's not feeling good. So even though it's not great for my face, my acne comes back. And when I'm not pregnant, having too much dairy it gives me a stomach ache, but not when I am pregnant. So I'll have to decide how I want to do that. But definitely more veggies. I have been, since I've been feeling better, taking my vitamins every day. And I want to incorporate more movement. Whether that just be walking or doing one of my pregnancy DVDs or some yoga. I have some pregnancy DVDs that I have loved for both my pregnancies, so I recently pulled those out, and recently also cleared my bedroom, so there is room for me to do them in there. So now I just have to kind of work it into my routine. I will insert a photo here of a bump picture of me. I am wearing maternity clothes already. I bought some when I wasn't feeling well. I kind of splurged a little bit. Probably partially because I wasn't feeling well, but also because I just didn't have regular clothes. Like I didn't have any long sleeve shirts, and we moved to northern Vermont and it's winter now, and I needed some like long sleeve shirts and some leggings anyway, so I just decided to go ahead and get maternity clothes. I know some people just don't want to get too many maternity clothes because you only wear it for a short amount of time. In my first pregnancy, I didn't get many, and I kind of regretted that because I ended up stretching out a bunch of my shirts, and then they didn't fit me or look right after pregnancy anyway. And so I bought a few more pieces in my second pregnancy, but this time I have really a whole maternity wardrobe, and I'm really excited. It kind of makes me happy. I kind of switched out my closet. I do have one pair of regular jeans still in there that I wear with belly band. It does not button right now. I purchased most of them from Old Navy and Pink Blush. This is my first time purchasing from Pink Blush, even though I've had my eye on them for a while, and I was super pleased with the clothing I got. So the clothes I did get should get me pretty much through pregnancy, with perhaps a few additional pieces come spring and summer, maybe some summery pieces. So I think that's it for my update. I do monthly updates with a little bit more detail on my blog, so I will link that below. And if you're interested, you can check those out. I don't plan on doing a monthly update on here, but I will do some occasional updates, and probably more when we get towards the end and we're doing more. To be honest, during pregnancy, it shouldn't be too eventful, right? You kind of hope for a boring pregnancy because that means everything's going well. So that's what I'm hoping for. It is exciting to share, and I might do some posts on healthy pregnancy or how I'm doing homeschooling during pregnancy, and things like that. But thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you're all well in this new year of 2019, and exciting things are coming your way. Please hit the thumbs up button below to like this video, and please subscribe to see more mostly homeschooling, home garden content.